So I saw this video where a wife was speaking to her husband in two different, very distinct ways. And it reminded me how the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, there is no such thing as a no good woman. If there is, she was made that way by a no good man. My angle of the video, I'm about to let y'all watch it. What I saw was how a good woman starts off talking to her husband. As long as he's treating her right, he's respecting her, he's loving her, he's being loyal to her. The basics. Like you're always gonna have problems, you're all gonna be flawed, but certain things should not be present, such as cheating, abuse, etc., right? So as long as the man is doing his part, a good woman is gonna do hers. The second part of the video, when she started talking to him different and crazy, that is a result of when a man has broken your trust. He has disrespected you. No woman's going to start disrespecting a man for no reason. So that's what I thought of when I saw this video. And it reminded me of when I was in my marriage and fighting to decide if I should leave or not. It reminded me of how a lot of people in society will blame the woman and say, well, make sure you watch your tone, make sure you're watching how you speak to him, make sure you're boosting his ego, you're letting him get the last word, make sure you're doing this, and all of that was horrible advice for someone who was not doing the same. So I want to encourage all women, all survivors of domestic violence or just toxic marriages and relationships. I want to remind you that as long as your person is doing their part, you should stay and you should work it out. But the moment that they're disrespecting you, they're treating you how other than you want to be treated, they're treating you other than they want to be treated, it's abuse. Abuse has entered their chat. Cheating, disloyalty, lying, all of those things, that man do not deserve your respect. The only thing I would say, I always try to learn from each situation in life. I turn pain into power. Instead of staying with a man who has turned you into a way to where you're talking crazy or you're matching his energy, I would say just leave. But when you love someone and you're invested and they're invested and they say they love you too, and y'all have all of these things wrapped up with each other, whether it be soul ties, finances, residences, children, religion, etc., I can understand why it's not just, it sounds easier than it is to just say, oh, yeah, this isn't working for me, bye. I understand once you get to a certain point and a certain level and you're knee deep in the water or chest deep in the water, neck deep in the water, it's a much higher stakes than somebody who's like just have their feet in the water. I totally get that. I'm just saying, what I've learned this time around is that when things do go bad, if they go bad, hopefully they don't, hopefully you got the right person, it's only two options. The person has to be willing to change or you have to leave. That's the only two options. And a lot of times myself and others, we have stayed longer than we should have in trying to get the person to change. My recommendation, make sure that man knows clear as day, look, this is a no, this a boundary that's not gonna be crossed. Since you crossed it, I'm finna go unless you go through like serious rehabilitation programs, because I don't just throw anybody away. I always, lead with mercy and love and rehabilitation because I believe that's how God is. But if someone refuses to, if they say, no, I'm not going to go to anger management on a consistent basis, no, I'm not going to do therapy for a year, no, I'm not going to do this, no, I'm not going to do a drug rehab program, no, I'm not going to make a public apology or, give you a gift every week for the next 6 months. Like, it should be a lot of atoning going on. And whenever someone has a problem with making it up to you for a wrong that they committed to you, that's the biggest red flag ever. All that talking, all that slowly doing the bare minimum to keep you around and then going back to their old ways, I will never again. And I just I just encourage you women, and anyone for that matter, that's with someone who is just in a dark place, you're going to do better for them by leaving them than you are by staying. Because if they refuse to change, you staying around is not going to help. They're going to have to change one day or they're going to perish. That's just how life works. You have right and you have wrong. You have God and the devil. Everybody has to make a choice. The thing that demons love to say is you're not perfect. Duh. But the difference between godly people and demons, godly people strive. Godly people actually show up with action. Godly people can say, okay, I drunk 3 margaritas last week. This week I only drunk 1, baby. Are you proud of me? I'm doing better, baby. That's what godly people do. They don't say, oh, I went to 1 anger management class, I'm not going to the other 19. And last but not least, be very, 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 very aware of men who feel the need to get the last word, always be in control, and always have a rebuttal to when you correct them. Because another thing I noticed in this video, and I am not trying to speak about this particular couple, unfortunately, they was on the internet. They always have a lot of controversy, to be honest, and I'm just speaking my opinion, because it was triggering to watch. Even when the wife said things in the best of manners, and she had sweat rolling down her and her baby's face from sitting in a hot car, although I'm sure that was not her husband's intention, once she did bring it to him after already suffering, she decided to sit there and sit in it with her babies and not say anything, and then wait till he came to the car and then still say it in the best, nicest way possible. What I didn't like, a red flag for me, from someone who's dealt with a narcissist, an abuser, etc., I didn't like how even when she did everything she was supposed to do on her end, on her part, he still came back and tried to find fault or blame or something to say to her about what she could have done better or should do better in the future. After she, again, perfectly did everything that a man would want a perfect woman to do, he still came back and said, "Oh yeah, next time just make sure you remind me to to give you the keys for the baby so y'all can turn the air on." He put it right back on her. And if that doesn't happen often, then fine. Maybe that man is not a bad man. But trust me, that was a big red flag for me, because my gut is telling me that he does that often and that it's a deeper problem. If a man cannot take correction when you bring it to him in the best way as a godly woman, he still can't take correction. He does not believe that you are equal to him. He thinks less of women, and he's mad. He doesn't even like the fact that you corrected him, no matter how well you did it, how well your tone was and nothing, your delivery. And men like that do not deserve to be with any woman, especially a godly woman. They deserve to have the karma women. And guess what? I definitely was a karma woman before. If you treat me a certain way, you was definitely gonna get this get back. But like I said, moving forward, I don't choose to even be in situations like that anymore. I'd rather just be with a good man. And the only way you know you're with a good man, unfortunately, sometimes, is when you get in deep with somebody and figure it out. But again, my lesson moving forward, if somebody does deceive me so well to where I just do not know that they have these horrible dark traits, then fine. Once I do see them, I will just leave faster. That's like the only best advice I can give. Is they gonna change or they not? Don't spend weeks, months, or years, especially, waiting and dealing with none of that at all. It's just gonna get worse. Last but not least, I will say this: the best, I don't even want to say revenge, because it's not about revenge. The best way to win, to be a winner, to truly be a godly woman, is to make sure that you don't become bitter like them. Men who are out here hurting women are miserable and bitter because they mama probably hurt them or whatever the case may be. My thing is this: myself and any women around me, any of my friend circle, baby, the way that we love the next man even more, that's the best revenge. Like, that's the best way to win. One thing, you can try to take as much away from me as you want to. You will never be able to take my spirit. That's how you win, ladies. You going to, I literally, whenever I get a new man, I love him even more than I love the last one. And that's how I win. Why shouldn't my next man get the best of me? And why shouldn't I get the best of him? So that's my whole thing. You know, there's no bitterness over here. I don't follow pages of bitter women or bitter men. I don't watch a lot of these podcasts. I just say, listen, good people deserve good people. And stay away from bitter men, because it's a lot of them out here. Clearly, with femicide on the rise, niggas is killing their boyfriends, their wives, their children. They're emotional, they're erratic, they're crazy. Stay away from men who are hateful and bitter. And just go find a good man. Live your best life with him. Leave the past in the past. Leave the trash in the trash. And just, y'all know I come with the receipts. When I was married, even when we were just engaged, even when he was just my boyfriend, he used to brag on me to his homies, because when he would hit the door, I would rush into his arms. I would run up to him and jump in his arms like a little girl, and he just loved it. And so look at the difference between the beginning of our relationship, where he got the best part of me and the most loving part of me, to when he started to betray me and break that bond that we had. That's 100% on him. That's his fault. I spoke to him great. I treated him amazing. Home cooked meals, the whole nine. So do not blame yourself. Do not blame yourself. Go, heal, pray, reflect, and love the next man even better. So let's get into the video. And y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments about everything I said and about the video that I played afterwards.
Honey, really quick, because it's summertime, sometimes you may not even recognize how hot the car can get, like super, super fast. So next time, do you mind just leaving the car keys with me? Just always making sure that the car keys are left with me so that I can just put on the air while I wait for you. Is that okay?
I totally forgot I brought the key.
I know. You probably had so much on your mind. I'm like, he's running around with a chicken with his head cut off. But it was like started to get so warm, and I was like, oh my gosh, the babies are in the back. So just kind of leave the key with me, and I'll handle it.
Just remind me next time too.
What was taking so long? Like, the babies are near crying. It's hot. Like, oh my gosh. Are you like not thinking? Like, we're sitting here in the car waiting for you.